let's let a professional worry about your money so you don't have to.
What is really a financial advisor? I feel like there are so many people out there talking about money.
I want to define wise counsel. Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. This is clearly stated in Proverbs. So this is biblical and practical.
Even as a mom trying to approach this topic I have 2 boys, with my children, by reading your book and getting your godly perspective on things, it's helping me with them.
My whole battle cry is to take intimidating financial topics, make them easy to understand, clear, no shame in this game.
No shame.
And just meet people where they are.
Will you do that?
I'm Emily Stroud. Most importantly, I'm a wife and mom. I'm also a financial advisor, and for more than 25 years, I've had the privilege of walking alongside people, helping them make wise financial decisions. I wish everyone who needs encouragement today could come over to my house, and I'd share the same lessons I've seen transform lives, principles I wrote about in my best-selling book, Faithful Finance. That's why I also created the Faithful Finance podcast. I sit down with my dear friend, Alison Gengelbach, and together we unpack practical, faith-filled ways to manage money and find true peace in your financial journey. So friend, please pull up a chair, make yourself at home, and join us as we share the time-tested secrets of faithful finance. Hello, welcome to Faithful Finance. My name is Emily Stroud, and I will be your host today. I'm so excited that you're joining us. Welcome to my home. I'm here with my dear friend, Alison Gengelbach.
Yay!
Thank you for being
in your
here.
beautiful home, Emily.
Aww.
This is such a happy day.
I know. It's our first podcast, and we just want to talk about the heart of faithful finance. My whole battle cry is to take intimidating financial topics, make them easy to understand, clear, no shame in this game.
No shame.
And just meet people where they are.
Will you do that?
Well,
you do
thank
that
you.
in such a beautiful way. You wrote best-selling book, Faithful Finance,
Thank you.
In this book, you expose the 10 secrets on how to move from that fearful insecurity of not knowing what your plans are to a person who's confidently in control. We're going to break down the chapters in this book. The first one talks about how we don't have to worry about our money.
Yeah.
Let's let other people do the worrying for us. And you talk about the importance of finding a financial advisor.
Well, it's kind of like Dr. Google. If you, instead of going to the doctor, you try and figure out what's wrong with you or your situation when you're too close to it and you don't have the knowledge anyway to make a diagnosis.
Yes.
So let's let a professional worry about your money so you don't have to.
Well, when you start thinking about finding a financial advisor.
Yes.
What is really a financial advisor? I feel like there are so many people out there talking about money and lots of different angles, lots of different voices. Like, how do you find the right one that's right for you?
I want to define wise counsel. This isn't something that I just thought up. I can't take credit for this. This is biblical. Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. This is clearly stated in Proverbs. So this is biblical and practical. So instead of worrying incessantly about the future as it regards to your money and robbing yourself of joy today
and sleep,
yes, let's ask for help. Let's normalize asking for help.
Ask for help from our Father God.
Yes.
And ask for help from the wisdom that is around us.
Yes.
How do you really know if a financial advisor is trustworthy? How do you discern?
You know, it's funny. I get this question a lot because unfortunately there's thousands of people working in our industry. I am very well aware that we don't all have the best reputation. People think we're slippery. Just trying to sell you something.
Yeah.
You know, I got tacos for $2. So it's not that, but there are people in our industry that are really good salespeople, but they are not qualified to be giving you financial advice. And so honestly, If possible, the best option is a referral from someone in your life that you know and trust and respect, that's had a really positive experience with a financial advisor. If there's someone you know and trust in your community, ask them for a referral, because I am not going to know every financial advisor all around the country.
Yes.
So that's the first option, is see if you can get a referral to someone from a person you already know.
Well, you talk about some specific credentials that we should be looking for when
Yes.
we're trying to find our the best match. What are those credentials? What are those certifications? And what should we know about them?
Well, the first thing you can do is you want to make sure that the person that you are asking for advice is actually qualified to give advice. And so this is a very practical tool that a lot of people don't know. So there's a website called FINRA.org.
Okay, what?
FINRA.org.
Okay.
And what it stands for is the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority.
Sounds very complicated.
It's a mouthful.
Mouthful.
But really all it is what we call a broker check. So there's actually a link at the bottom of my website, faithfulfinance.com, where it says broker check. And you can click that link for FINRA.org and you can fill in the advisor's name. If they are licensed with the SEC, you can check to find out, number one, are their licenses current? And most importantly, have they ever had any formal complaints filed against them? Do they have any pending legal lawsuits or past lawsuits?
Have they had any jail time?
Have you
speeding
jail
tickets?
time? I know I've had a speeding ticket.
Is it on there?
No, I got it taken off with little traffic ticket
you
lawyer.
little sneaker.
So,
She's had a ticket, so
I
just
sought
know that,
wise
people.
counsel for my traffic ticket.
Well, there you go.
See,
That's
it's applicable
wisdom.
to many areas of your life. So also credentials. So in addition to being licensed with the SEC, there's a lot of other differentiating, that's a big word, differentiating factors for different advisors. In my particular case, and I can only speak for myself, I am an MBA, which means I have a master's in business administration. I went to TCU and
Go Horned Frogs.
yes, we're here in Fort Worth, Texas. We support the frogs.
We do.
And so I did 2 years of really intense graduate work with a concentration in finance. I worked at American Express Financial Advisors while I was getting my MBA. So I was getting both book knowledge and practical knowledge. And then I went and graduated. I went to work for Deloitte & Touche in Dallas in the business valuation group. And then I also worked for JP Morgan Chase Private Bank.
You're fancy.
Well, I was getting really good hands-on work experience. I was learning from the best in the industry, and that's where I wanted to be. Well, while I was also working, it was hard. I was sitting and studying for what they call the CFA exam.
Explain what that is.
So CFA stands for Chartered Financial Analyst, and it's essentially a PhD in money management. So when you see the people on CNN and MSNBC that are telling you what the market's doing today, and they are...
You could be that.
I could be that.
You are that.
But I like people, and I don't want to sit there and stare at the market all day long and trade and buy and sell when it's appropriate. And so, but I am trained to evaluate money managers. I know if they're doing a good job or not. And so I'm also qualified to give investment management advice. I've taken the time and done the heavy lifting.
And not a lot of people have that certification, do they?
Well, it's pretty rigorous. And so it is definitely a very great sign that the person you're talking to should be trusted.
So if you can find a financial advisor with that certification, great. If not,
there's also another certification that's pretty popular. It's a little bit more widely known about, and that's CFP, Certified Financial Planner.
Okay,
So I've also done some of the coursework for Certified Financial Planner, but CFA kind of trumps CFP. I'm not trying to be arrogant, but I'm not.
Own it.
But
Own it.
I can also give financial planning advice and investment management advice. I'm also licensed to sell insurance because I think insurance is a very important piece of your financial puzzle. We need to mitigate risk and find holes. And so if you can find somebody that also can do that as well, that's great.
That's like the full package.
Yes. It's not completely necessary. They can refer you to someone that they know and trust that is available. Just like you can refer to a CPA for accounting or a attorney for estate planning. I work with all of those advisors, but essentially I'm the quarterback of your financial team. So I say, hey, do you have a will? If they say no, okay, the first step, we need to get that taken care of.
Yes.
I'm not an attorney. And so a will has to be drawn up. It's a legal document, right?
Yeah.
So I've got people in my circle that I trust and I know do a good job. So I refer my clients to those people. It works the same way everywhere.
We all need you, Emily.
Well,
I'm
thank
so
you.
glad you're my friend. I'm so glad you're mine. When do people need to reach out and find an advisor? Like, when should you make this step?
Well, this is kind of interesting. I am a very proud aunt. I have a daughter in college and I have 6 nieces and nephews, and they're all just starting to be young adults. And I'm already talking to them
Good.
about
Get
save.
'em.
And I'm
and
talking
save.
y'all $50 a month. I'm not talking $500 a month, but it's so much easier
If you start now.
if you start
at
now.
that age.
And I always am telling them, I'm like, you're not used to having money anyway. So just take that $50 a month when you first get your paycheck and stash it away. You'll thank me one day.
Yeah, they will.
I'm waiting for that day.
No, they will. And they don't even know, but they don't even know what they're doing
So
now.
that's ideal. And I understand that not everyone has that luxury to start when they're 19, 20, 21, 22. So
But it's never too late.
It's never too late. So young marrieds, yes. But if you're 40 and you have a teenager and you're just now waking up and listening this today, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Yes.
Today is your day.
Today is your day. If you're newly single, if you're newly widowed, if you're
Yes.
newly married, any new beginning,
Any new stage of life.
it's a wonderful time to start.
So and the plan needs to be fluid. So everybody has a different need, a different unique circumstance. So my financial plan's not going to be the same as yours. It's not going to be the same as my brother's. And so it all depends on your unique stage of life, your circumstances, your assets, your liabilities, your family members. And so that's why working with a professional financial advisor can help you tailor that financial plan to your own life. But I do know that not everybody can meet with a financial
They
advisor.
cannot. And I mean, how much is this financial advisor going to cost us?
It all depends. And so that's a hard question to answer. I meet with people that often say, Emily, I can't afford to meet with you. I'm set. And I say, let's just sit down for 1 hour. And I charge a flat fee for that 1 hour, just like you would if you went to the doctor or the dermatologist or the eye doctor or whoever.
Copay.
And I'm like, let's see if we can get you started. And so that's called fee-based financial planning. That is an option. And then people that do have assets under management, obviously I can help them make wise choices with their money. But one of the reasons that I wrote this book several years ago, Faithful Finance, is I realized that when I sat down with clients and prospects and friends, everybody has an issue with money. I've yet to find if you know the unicorn that does not have an issue with money, send them my way and disprove my theory.
But it's people with money,
people without money,
and
honestly, the most fretful people I know are usually the ones with the most resources. They're terrified of losing.
Why?
They're terrified of losing the assets they do have. A lot of their identity is tied up in their wealth, and so they're fretful. And so people that don't have resources, people that do, family dynamics, people's hopes, dreams, fears, their children, their grandchildren, so many factors play into why people lay awake at night, worried and fretting about their money. And I actually have a name for this. I call it the sleep test. And
we're not sleeping.
Well, if you're not sleeping because you're worried about money, it's time for a change, and it's time to wake up and say, you know what? I need help. And so I want to meet people today right where they are. If they're driving down the road, driving carpool, and you can't meet with a financial advisor, get a copy of my book. Go to my website, faithfulfinance.com, and listen in. Subscribe to our podcast because we're going to actually put this information into your hands. We're going to give
It's
you
invaluable.
practical
it truly
tools.
is life-changing.
And I hope we can make it fun.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of these topics seem serious or dry, but everybody needs this.
Yes.
And so I want to take an intimidating topic and make it fun. I want to make it practical. I want to explain things. So interrupt me if I say something and you're like, I don't even know what that word meant.
I will. Oh, I will. Don't worry, I will.
And so, because if you have that question,
Everybody
somebody
will have
else
that
does
question.
too.
Yes.
So,
yes. I think a lot of people that listen to this podcast are going to be less intimidated. I think having a plan, when you don't have a plan, you don't have a purpose.
You don't have a
You're
roadmap.
whimsical. You don't have a roadmap. It's almost like boundaries. When you have solid boundaries, you're free to roam. You can go to the ends of those boundaries. But when you do not have boundaries, not knowing where those boundaries are, people usually walk a straighter road. Like, you want financial freedom, and the only way to have that is by having an awesome plan, which is what you provide.
And you know what you need? You need a navigator.
Yeah.
So it's funny that you mentioned that, because Bob Goff wrote the foreword to Faithful Finance.
So good.
And so what he said was pretty poignant, and these are his words, not mine, that in order to achieve financial freedom, you need a navigator. You need somebody who's gone before you, knows where you're going, knows where you are now, and can get you from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I want to be. I want to be your navigator. So it can be great. And once you have a plan, the reduction in stress and anxiety I find to be exponential for people. And my couples that I meet with that are married, just having an unbiased third party to help open the door to communication and come up with a plan that they both agree upon, because sadly,
if you do that,
it's life-changing for people.
You can cure cancer.
I mean, I don't know about that.
I mean, but Emily,
but it is a cancer
that you both can agree on.
This is a cancer. Our families are fragile.
They are.
These relationships are fragile. And a lot of it, if you really dig down and you get to the root of what a lot of people are arguing about, is women want security, men want respect. And when this topic comes up, it gets all wonky.
It does get wonky.
And the next thing you know, there's resentment. And so I like to come in and say, okay, you're not both wrong, but you're also not both right.
Yes.
And then let's come up with a plan that we can all agree upon. This is life-changing for their children, for their grandchildren. But then they have a roadmap. And
they can blame you for that roadmap.
And I don't mind taking the blame.
Take the blame.
So if that causes you all to have a healthier marriage, I'll be the bad guy.
Yeah.
So, it's like the good guy, bad guy parenting.
Yeah, yes.
I play bad guy, because I don't always tell everybody what they want to hear. I tell them the truth. And
Which somebody has to.
Somebody has to.
Somebody has to come to me and say, get your junk together. You don't need a Starbucks every time you drive by a Starbucks. You do not need a manicure every other week. You can go buy your Lee press-on nails and slap those suckers on with some glue.
And I want to give a shout out to Lee press-on nails.
Thank you, Lee press-on nails. Right here, folks.
Right here, folks.
This cost me $9 versus...
I paid $80.
Versus $6. I know.
I'm not practicing
stupid.
What I preach.
You need your Lee press-on, honey.
I thought those suckers would...
Don't these look good?
I thought those suckers would pop off.
I know. They haven't yet. And if I do, I got some glue back there.
And so this is exactly what I'm talking about. One of the things I love is when I tell people, I'm like, I'm not asking you to not enjoy your life. Let's just figure out how to get what you want with the resources that you have.
Exactly. And it's all, for me, it's all the little things. It's all the things that add up over time. And all of a sudden, and now I have a driver. I have a 16-year-old who's driving.
I thought you were going to say you had a chauffeur.
No.
I was going to talk about that line item expense.
I'm so old driving Miss Daisy. No, my oldest is driving. And you talk about money. I mean, like, to fill up this truck that he's driving, is to fill that sucker up is $90. $90. Really?
Do you remember when gas was $1 a gallon?
I do.
And we could go a long time on $10.
I do know the long gone are those days. So even as a mom trying to approach this topic I have 2 boys, with my children, I'm learning a lot by reading your book and getting your godly perspective on things. It's helping me with them. To know what to say. I'm not a money tree.
If we learn this information and then we can start internalizing it and making it part of who we are, then we can plant those seeds in the next generation.
Switching gears, talking about a financial advisor, my sweet daddy died a few years ago.
I know.
And it was so hard.
And if you haven't walked through that, I call it BC and AD and BC, before my mom and after my mom.
Because you lost your mom.
My mama passed literally 1 month after your daddy passed.
It was like the road.
We were
of
just
grief.
staring at each other like,
it was,
who are we?
I know. Beloved people, precious people.
And that's the price of having a beloved, is the grief. It's a gift, but
comes.
man, it's tough.
It's real.
And that grief, you can't, I learned this too. You can't dodge it. You can't go around it. You got to go through it.
I tried to dodge.
Yeah, you were a good dodger.
Up in the ER.
Remember when you were planning all those parties?
Oh, it was terrible. What was I thinking?
I don't know.
I'm a good...
You were a doer.
I'm a doer. And I don't want to be grievy. I don't want to sit around and cry. I'm positive and harmony. I know I need to grieve, but I don't want to have to sit there long. And when you don't take the time to do that,
it shows up in your physical body.
I couldn't sit through a meeting. I was at this thing. They're like, you got to go right to the ER. I thought I was having a heart attack. They did too. No, it was grief. I got on the gurney, laid out, and the hospital was so full. I'm laying out on this long gurney and just like crying in the middle of the hallway. I couldn't stop crying. And they're like, honey, this is grief. This is what
Did you tell them that your dad had just died?
Yes, I did. And I literally, I didn't allow myself to cry. And then I did. And I had to learn, you have to sit in it.
Did you feel exhaustion?
Total.
For me, I remember taking my kids to school, and I work from home here. I'm a financial advisor. Praise God, I'm self-employed, so I do have some flexibility. But I remember getting back in bed.
Oh, it was terrible.
Because I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, that's grief.
It's grief. And so when you lose people, like you've lost your mother, I've lost my dad, the last thing you want to have to stop and think about is, how am I going to pay the light bill? Mm-hmm. How am I going to afford a funeral? How am I going to, right? And so,
well, you know what? I'm very insured. My husband's very insured.
He is?
Well, I decided, this is embarrassing to admit, but
give us tips.
When I got married, I decided if I was ever a widow, I wasn't going to be a poor widow.
Yes, you did. So what do we do? What do we need to do?
Well, I don't know that that's good advice, but I
like that advice.
I insured that sucker when he was young and healthy.
Be poor. See, that's good. See, that's smart. That's what we need to do.
When he was young and healthy and the insurance was cheap.
It's cheap.
And that is the reality.
Get it early.
Well, that's when they're... All joking aside, people, you don't want to get insurance when you need insurance, because you're going to be older and have health issues.
And you're not going to get it.
You're either not going to get it or it's going to be very, very, very expensive.
Very expensive.
What's up, baby girl?
She wants to get in the conversation. We sent my mother, after my dad died, we found a financial advisor for her in her little hometown. And it was you're asking us to go to help carry that burden so that we don't have to be afraid of all the grief, of all the fear, of all the pain we were all going through as a family. That's not one of the places of pain, because we took your advice and found somebody to talk to that my mother knows personally, that she could ask all of those questions to. And she suffered. I mean, my daddy shuffled a lot. She shuffled a lot.
And she was imitating
him, trying to slow down for him. And when he died, she shuffle. And so we ended up getting her money situated. She ended up enrolling in a ballroom dancing class. And
I love that she's a ballroom dancer.
And she twirls a fire baton. So now my mother on the 4th of July, honey, she went from, I can't walk, my husband is dying, she took care of him for 15 years, to I've got financial freedom. Thank God my father put some things in place. What a gift to all of us. And now she's ballroom dancing 5 days a week, and we'll twirl a fire baton every 4th of July. See, this is living. This is good. You too could twirl a fire baton if you go to a financial...
Not if my life depended on it. I'd be setting the house on fire. There's nobody asking me to twirl a baton, much less one on fire.
We'll come to my house
speaking of fire,
every 4th of July.
I feel like you and I have walked through it
fire
together in our own lives.
It's going to come to everybody. It really is. If you haven't walked through fire, just hold on. I mean, it's part of living. But these last few years for you and for me, it's been a situation. It's been a lot.
Yeah, and insurance is one of the things I want to talk about. Almost a year to the day, I was taking my son to school, and Penny was in the back seat because she likes to ride in the car for carpool. She likes to manage.
She doesn't like you at all.
She likes to manage the security guard.
Yes.
At school, who she barks at, which we can't figure out because she's security at the house and he's security. So we think there's some jealousy.
Hello.
Anyway, I digress. So I was taking my son to school and I was going to start my day. It was literally a regular Tuesday. And I had this feeling, and I believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was the Holy Spirit. And I needed to go home. And I thought, I'm just going to take the dog home. And then that way I'll go take her home before I go finish my errands. And when I got home, my husband was having a massive heart attack. 50 years old.
He's a baby.
Never goes to the doctor, never had a health problem, didn't have an internist, but he did have disability insurance and he did have life insurance that we had paid on for 20 years. And you're thinking some months when the budget gets tight, why do we pay this? We don't really need it, but
Emily, that is so incredibly scary. What did you do?
Well, honestly, I was so stunned. I didn't really understand what was happening because he doesn't have a history of health problems. And so the only time he's ever been to the hospital was 20 years ago. He had a kidney stone. So I thought maybe that's what was happening. But he was actually having a heart attack. And so he is an underreactor. So when there's a medical crisis, he's
unlike you.
Unlike me, he is cool as a cucumber. And he looked at me and said, we got to go now.
He knew it.
So no time to call 911. And I thought, okay, here we go. And he got himself in the car because he was afraid that if we waited for an ambulance, we might not have time. And if he waited any longer and he fell down, that he may not be able to get in the car. I wouldn't be able to pick him up. So I drove 110 miles an hour to the hospital. One hand on the wheel, one hand on his shoulder, praying to God that I wasn't about to lose my husband. And all I could think of was my kids. And I don't want to be a widow. This isn't what I signed up for. But you're going to have to rally right now. And so
she's feeling it.
She's feeling it. She doesn't like this topic either. But when we got to the hospital, they identified immediately that he was, in fact, having a heart attack. And he was in surgery in 22 minutes. He got the care he needed. I am not a widow.
And he survived.
He survived, and we're so grateful. But I'm not just giving you all hypothetical information. I have walked this walk. I can talk this talk. And I'm so grateful that we had our financial plans in place because I didn't want to be a widow. I did not want to do life on my own without my sweet husband, but we had planned in advance. Thank goodness. That's what my battle cry is for everybody that's listening today is I want you to have the tools that you need to manage your money well without fear and anxiety. I want you to have joy and peace because you already did the heavy lifting. And crisis is not the time to start financial planning. So I hope today that everybody that's listening in will find one nugget at least that they can go ahead and implement in their life, that this will be practical, profitable, beneficial, and that you'll come away from the Faithful Finance podcast feeling inspired and encouraged.
We're going to do this together.
Yes. Here are the key takeaways from today's episode. Wise counsel is biblical and essential. Verify advisor credentials, licenses, and history. Money worries affect everyone. Get help if you're losing sleep. Every plan must be personalized. One size doesn't fit all. Insurance and estate basics must be in place before crisis hits. Healthy money communication improves marriages and family life. This has been Faithful Finance, the podcast, hosted by Emily Stroud and Alison Gengelbach. Produced by Great Light Creative. Recorded in Fort Worth, Texas. Executive produced by Emily Graham Stroud. Makeup by Heather Spivey. Additional production support by Andy Emery and Parker Connell. Additional moral support provided by Penny. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube. Rate and review this show on Apple Podcasts. Learn more by visiting faithfulfinance.com. Thanks for listening.